Am I the a-hole for telling my husband I would not move without my name on the house? I, 32 female, bought the current starter home at age 22. My husband, 33 male, moved in about 3 years ago, just prior to us getting engaged. I've always considered this to be our home and now our 15-month-old daughter's home, even though my husband has never financially contributed to the mortgage. We are looking to move to a larger house, not because we intend to have additional children, but because my husband wants a man cave as well as a work-from-home office. He also says he wants a large house to host parties, just like his childhood home. I support his need for his own space and also see this potential move as a way to help our daughter get into a better public school district. Yesterday, my husband told me that when it comes to signing for the new house, it should be only his name on the deed. He believes he could qualify as a first-time home buyer and that this would save money on closing costs. We would be using the equity in our current home, about $200,000, for a down payment in order to afford the new mortgage. I told him, as a woman, I need to protect myself and would not move without my name being included on the home. I told him it would be stupid of me to use the equity in the home I've lived in for 10 years and not have my name on the new home. I mentioned that if something were to happen, or if his feelings for me changed one day, I would be left with nothing. He became very upset by me saying this. He said my thinking is flawed and that I need to go to a therapist to work on why I think like this. I told him I don't believe my thought process is irrational or flawed, and that while I understood he was offended by my statement, this was a non-negotiable for me. Additional background: my husband makes the same amount of money as I do, and he pays the electric bill and half of daycare. He constantly talks about money and saving, and he has made me cancel subscriptions, like the gym, in the past, to save a quick buck. When our daughter needed surgery, his first thought was, well, how much is this going to cost? While mine was, is this surgery needed and safe? He grew up in a very wealthy family, and I grew up lower middle class. So Reddit, am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. If he doesn't want your name on the new house, then he'll just have to save up the down payment without using your house equity, which shouldn't be hard considering how little bills he pays. You can move into his house and rent out yours for extra income. I'd also make sure your will puts your house in a trust for your daughter. So if something happens to you and he remarries, your house will go to your kid without issue. That's a good idea. I haven't even thought about a will yet. He's either an idiot or trying to scam you. You need to figure out which one it is. So he never helped pay the mortgage, but you're using the equity from the home you purchased on your own to put down on the new home, and he doesn't want your name on it? That man is crazy and disrespectful for even asking that of you. Right. Hope he would be incredibly stupid to do this. He hasn't contributed anything to their current home, so using the sale money of this house to buy a house that only belongs to the husband is insane. He is welcome to buy his own house, but he needs to do that with his own money. Then maybe OP could keep her current house as a rental or something. Gaslighting OP and telling her she needs therapy for not being okay with his insane offer makes it seem like he knows he's asking her to do something stupid that only benefits him and leaves her at huge risk. Yeah, and the fact she added he's penny pinching about their daughter's stuff. Cancel gym membership, daughter surgery. Like seriously? How much is it gonna cost? Not, oh my god, my daughter needs surgery. Shows if they were to divorce or separate, he will definitely steal that house and any equity out from under her. Tell him to pay for his house, and you can do him like he does you. Pay the utilities and half of daycare. And the only reason he gives you for not wanting your name on the title is to save money on closing costs? Yes, that's right. I'm honestly not even sure if he would qualify for the first-time home buyer credit anyway. But yes, that's the only reason he gave. Next story. Am I the a-hole for wanting a divorce over my husband's drunken words? I'm going to try to keep a long story short. My husband and I had been trying for a baby with zero success. After some doctor's appointments, we found out my husband is sterile. This was really hard for him because he had always wanted to have a large family. We talked about all of our options and decided to use a sperm donor. We chose someone who resembled my husband, with the same hair and eye color. All through the pregnancy, my husband seemed excited, but once our son was actually here, he was very distant. I was told that men take longer to adjust to parenthood and that he'd come around, so I've tried to be patient. One of his friends is getting married soon, and he went out to the bachelor party. He got dropped off at home drunk. I wasn't upset about that. I was helping him upstairs to our room when our son started crying. He has colic, so he cries a lot, and we're all exhausted most of the time. My husband looked at me and said, "Every time he cries, I just think about you having another man's baby." I was in shock. I felt hot and cold at the same time when I heard that. I got him up the stairs and he went to bed. I went to my son's room and slept there. First thing the next morning, he was apologizing, saying that he didn't mean it like that, but he couldn't tell me how he did mean it. So I asked if he felt like our son was his, and he just stared at me. That felt like my answer. Now me and the baby are at my parents' house, and I don't think I want to be with my husband anymore. Maybe it's postpartum, maybe it's hormones, or maybe I'm just the a-hole. I'm too tired and hurt right now to figure it out, so you tell me. Not the a-hole. I truly doubt that this resentment towards the baby, or in general the situation, is new. The fact that it finally came out, it was because the baby is now real and he can't pretend anymore. He should have been more honest with himself and with you from the beginning. I think he probably always assumed that you were the one with the problem that prevented a real pregnancy, and he is very angry with himself and the world, and maybe especially you, that you had to use a sperm donor. That made him feel inadequate, and now he feels inadequate when he looks at the new baby. Just a guess. He needs to explore this in therapy. Not the a-hole. Having a baby is hard. Although the baby isn't biologically his, he agreed to have a child with you. This is how you both decided to go about it. What is more important than passing down genetics is passing down love and character values. If roles were reversed and you had to use a donor egg with a surrogate mother, would he be okay with you saying that he had another woman's baby? For real, it's not about the DNA. It's about who shows up for that baby every day. That man agreed to be a dad. He can't just back out when it gets real. Not the a-hole. My parents were in almost the same situation you have when they had me. Sperm donor. Except I don't really look like my dad. He could never let go of the pain he had about the fact that I had another man's DNA and had some resentments from that. Still tried his best to be my dad, but sometimes in heated moments that resentment came out. Your husband needs therapy. He's grieving and doesn't know it. He's grieving a vision of his life he thought he would have and needs to be brought to the one he actually has. Torturing himself over something that ultimately would never happen is not going to help himself, you, or your child. I was all ready to be like, OP's husband is horrible. But you're right. Like, just look at how difficult infertility can be for women. There's a difference between grieving infertility and not wanting or regretting the child, though of course they could look similar. Man, I hate that I grew from your comment, but I really hope OP sees this, because you're right. If grief is what's going on, this is still salvable. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to babysit for my sister because I don't want her stepdaughter in my house or to be on my own with her? My sister 30s has been married to Nick 30s for 6.5 years. Nick has an 11-year-old daughter, Abby, from his first marriage, and my sister and Nick have 2 biological kids together. Nick shares custody of Abby with his ex-wife. For a while, things were okay. Everyone in our family got along with Nick and adored Abby. Things changed when Abby's mom's second marriage ended 5 years ago. After that, the woman became a nightmare for my sister and Nick, and she was doing her very best to turn Abby against my sister and our family, and later her younger siblings. For over a year now, they've had a problem with Abby snooping in private areas for her mom, sending photos, and giving information to her. Nick and my sister had to start locking their bedroom door during the daytime. They were locking up medications extra tightly because even those Abby's mom wanted proof of. Abby was doing the same snooping at other houses too, like my parents, my other sisters, and my aunt's houses. Abby's whole personality around us has changed too. I know she's at an age where that kind of stuff happens anyway, but she's just so rude. Around Nick's family, she hasn't changed. She's outright denying we're her family now, and she claims she's an only child and only has cousins from her mom and dad, even though when she was younger, she claimed my other siblings' kids as cousins too. An I-20s male was the fun uncle, but she doesn't see me that way anymore. Not only the fun part, but the uncle part too. I'm not dealing with that alone, and I'm certainly not watching an 11-year-old like she's 1 and ignoring the other kids, because there's a risk she'll snoop around my house the second my back is turned. This is something Nick has brought to court, and I acknowledge that he's trying. They have Abby in therapy too, and she's faced consequences for snooping. But she gets encouraged by her mom and rewarded for it, so why would she stop? My sister wanted me to babysit the kids this weekend for several hours. I didn't have plans, but I said no. This weekend they have Abby, and I'm not doing that. My sister offered to let me stay at their house if that would work out better, but I told her that would still mean having to deal with Abby's attitude and behavior. She understood, but Nick didn't, and he told me giving up on Abby won't fix anything, and that I'm going to make things worse. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. At any moment, it could escalate to Abby making false claims against someone, and it could ruin lives. It's not a risk worth taking. No one in your family should be alone with her at any time. I was just saying this. Her mom seems to know no boundaries and is teaching the kid to be the same. Yeah, and that combo can become dangerous for anyone left alone with her. You're not giving up on her. You just don't want to be stuck watching a rebellious preteen that's being encouraged to start problems. You need to be very careful around her now. She could say things and make claims that could cause serious problems in your life. With her mom encouraging this behavior, it wouldn't surprise me. Try not to be alone with her. Watch out for yourself. Have your phone ready to record if you do get stuck alone with her. Especially considering the snooping hasn't led to the outcome Mom and now Abby want, Mom getting full custody. So what would they try next? Molestation claims? This has every danger of potentially escalating to that, especially as Abby no longer views OP as her uncle. So yeah, OP as a lone adult male babysitting her in this situation could literally destroy his life. Even false claims of SA, which are later recanted or proven false, can still destroy a person's life, career, friendships, reputation. People may always have a lingering suspicion that never really goes away completely. Maybe Mom and Abby would not go that far, but with so much at stake, better safe than sorry. Nobody should be alone with this kid. Right. What if her mom encouraged her to say you did something to her? This could potentially ruin your life. Don't take the risk and explain it that way to your sister and Nick. It's not out of the realm of possibility, which is another very good reason for my refusal. Not the a-hole. Explain your worry about her ability to claim things that have never and would never happen falsely because her mom said to. Did the courts intervene because of the alienation that the mom has perpetrated? Because that is what dad should be going after full custody, with monitored visits for mom only. The courts haven't done a whole lot so far as anyone can see. Their lawyer thinks the fact the alienation isn't being used against Nick specifically, that it's not being taken as seriously. But Nick and my sister are doing what they can to try and prove that it's still harmful. Last story. Am I the a-hole for walking out of our gender reveal after my boyfriend's ex showed up uninvited and he acted like it was no big deal? I, 25 female, am currently 21 weeks pregnant. My boyfriend, 27 male, and I planned a small gender reveal with close friends and family. Nothing over the top. Backyard setup, cupcakes, balloons, just something chill and happy. About 15 minutes before we were supposed to do the reveal, his ex shows up. Not just shows up, walks in like she owns the place, hugs him, brings a gift, and says something like, "I wouldn't miss this. I helped raise this man." I just stood there like, what? For background, they dated for 5 years and broke up 2 years before we got together. He claims they're still on good terms and talks to her here and there. I've told him before that I'm not comfortable with that, especially now that I'm pregnant. He always says she's just part of his past and not a threat. I pulled him aside and asked why she was here. He told me she texted him earlier, asking if she could come, and he said yes, because he didn't think it was a big deal. No heads up, no warning. And this is a party I planned while I'm carrying our child. I told him this was disrespectful and that I didn't want her there. He got annoyed and told me to relax and not make a scene, and that it's not the time to be jealous or petty. So I left. I didn't yell or go off. I just grabbed my stuff and walked out because I wasn't about to sit through that and pretend I was fine. Now he's mad at me for ruining the reveal and says I embarrassed him in front of his family. His mom texted me saying I need to grow up and stop being so emotional for the baby's sake. I honestly feel like no one is seeing how messed up it is that he invited his ex to something this personal without even asking me. So, am I the a-hole for walking out? Oh, this is not gonna end well. Not at all. She wanted this to happen. It was a power move. It won't be a surprise if they wind up together again. If? This was a close friends and family event. Is the ex family? Is she close friends with the mom-to-be? I can see her as the stepmom co-parenting the baby. Is that why she wanted to be there? To establish her place in the baby's life from the start? Would she rewrite history for the kid? This is your dad and I at your gender reveal party. Not the a-hole at all. You planned this, you're pregnant, and he invited his ex without even a heads up? That's not good terms. That's straight up disrespect. The fact that he doubled down and told you to relax instead of supporting you? Nah, you didn't ruin anything. He did, by prioritizing his ex's comfort over yours at your own gender reveal. I'd have walked out too, pregnant or not. Exactly. Like, how was I supposed to just stand there smiling while his ex is front and center at something so personal to me? It wasn't even about jealousy. It was the complete lack of respect. And then being told to relax, like I was just being hormonal? No, I left because I deserved better in that moment. The ex inviting herself, and so comfortably showing up, was a power play. She's saying she will always be more important to Guy than you. Just look at me, here at your intimate gender reveal. His reaction to you is him solidifying this to you. His mom made sure it was extra clear. You and your baby deserve better. Absolutely not the a-hole. There's no way an ex should be involved in a gender reveal. And by the way, how did the ex find out about it? There's more to this story, OP. Watch your back. That's what I said. I didn't even know she knew about it. Turns out my boyfriend mentioned it to her in passing because they still talk sometimes. I'm honestly still mad and kind of rethinking a lot right now.